Hey, real quick before the video starts, I do just want to apologize for the constant lagging that you might see. That is a hardware issue on my end that I plan to get fixed soon enough, but I still hope you enjoy the video either way. Thanks for stopping by. The history of TF2's strangest player. We could watch this.
This has been a 6-month investigation. I have collected hundreds of gigabytes worth of footage. I've spent countless
I've collected hundreds of gigabytes of something else.
hours scouring the internet, but I think we did it. I think we found the strangest TF2 player of all time. Let me show you. On the 6th of January,
That's a
I uploaded a video
bold
called
statement.
NPCs of TF2, which is a short
I was playing a match. I got a guy on my team just called Femboy Cum.
compilation of all the wacky people I had come across whilst playing TF2. Around 8 seconds into this video, there's a clip of me waiting for a health pack to respawn when all of a sudden, I notice a demo man
Bing
below me
Soy
was perched on the side of Hightower's cliff, shooting stickies up at a gap in the floorboards. Now this isn't how most people play TF2, and
Bing
I did think it
Soy.
was quite bizarre at the time, but it didn't go any deeper than that. I clipped it, I put it in my video, and that was that. A few people commented about how the strategy this demo was using was actually 200 IQ, but besides that, I didn't really think too much of it.
Average
Fast
TF2
forward
player.
18 days to the 24th of January, where I was playing a game on Moss Rock when one of my friends noticed that a huntsman sniper on our team was taunting after every shot they fired. So, like any sane person would, we began to follow them and investigate what tomfoolery they were up to. They picked up a clean kill with the bushwhacker on a flanking demo, and then, well, then something quite spectacular happened.
That's normal. Wait, did he hit that
This
shot?
random sniper decided to pull off a 360 huntsman shot whilst falling to their imminent death, and it actually worked. This
That's
absolutely
crazy.
blew me away, and you may actually recognize this clip because it featured in a video I released later in January called the Auto Balance Atrocity. Now it was really funny,
That's
but again,
cool.
I honestly didn't think too much of it until I saw the comments where people were pointing out that this huntsman sniper who just pulled off the frag of their life was the same demo man we saw in my previous video. And that,
Bing
ladies and
Soy.
gentlemen, was when Bing Soy officially came onto my radar.
Bing Soy.
But this discovery got me really interested in Bing Soy because the way he played the game was unlike anything I had ever seen before, and I wanted to know more. So the following day, I got to work. I started by creating a new text chat on my Discord called Bing Soy Sightings, where people could submit any video.
Bing Soy sightings. This man is treating this as if it were Bigfoot.
Or screenshots they had of his unusual behavior. And to my surprise, we started getting submissions really quickly. The first video was sent in by one of my admins.
Oh, are we actually looking for Bing Soy? We are looking for Bing Soy.
Corey, who discovered Bing Soy on Badlands spawn camping in a way that I have never seen before.
Yeah?
It's just air block. It's just oh.
Like what?
What?
Forcibly air blasting someone into water so you can pyro shock them? That takes ingenuity. Another clip from Corey also shows Bing Soy camping his own team's teleporter. Another one of my admin's legs found Bing Soy on the map altitude.
Legs. OMORI profile pic, by the way. That was an OMORI profile pic. That's Pluto. When you fight him for the second time.
Wall with his shotgun before backpedaling off a cliff to his death. Later that game, Legs also found him peering off into the mountains at the edge of the map, which, I mean, fair enough. It's a pretty scenic view, but why? What compelled him to do this? This juxtaposition between Bing Soy's genuinely impressive plays and creative strategies to, well, this
It just walked off a cliff.
really dumbfounded me. I was so intrigued by the enigma that was Bing.
Dude, that's like, it's pretty, I don't know, normal. Is Bing Soy in the room with us right now? Pull out a Ouija board. Let's ask.
Bing Soy, and I had so many questions that needed answers. So on the 31st of January, I decided it was time for me to suit up and get on the ground myself. My investigation began in the beautiful rainforests of PL Borneo, where I spotted Bing Soy playing engineer. At first, I didn't see anything too out of the ordinary. I mean, he just seemed to be playing some pretty stock standard engineer, but later in the match, he swapped to heavy, where I began to notice some oddities. Rather than holding down mouse 1 to continually shoot like a normal heavy would, he seemed to really like tap firing with the Tommy Slug as if he were picking an angle in CSGO. I also noticed that Bing Soy had quite the affinity towards taunting, because he was whipping out that stock minigun taunt after literally anything of any significance happened. He's taunting.
He's taunting. Oh no.
The investigation continued on to the next map, Mountain Lab, where things got a lot weirder. I kid you not, but for an entire 60 seconds, Bing Soy was absolutely determined to do this jump, which I am 99% sure is impossible. He did find a little ledge on the rocks you could glitch onto, but ultimately it was
ingenuity. He was playing engineer. He disintegrated,
He also
jeez.
seemed to be very paranoid as he was firing projectiles at literally everything on the map as he returned to the front line, and we also got another glimpse of his huntsman.
Yeah, that's just the average soldier player. I know because I play soldier.
Sniper gameplay where he would randomly shoot arrows through the floorboards. Things started to get really weird on the next map, Badlands, where Bing Soy, playing Flog Pyro, and for the period of about 15 minutes, did nothing but well,
I know you're kidding, by the
whatever
way.
this
I
is.
think.
I don't know if Bing Soy thought there were gang stalkers hiding in his walls, but he seemed determined to engulf every single surface of the map in flames, and God, was it just bizarre to watch.
That's
I ended up on
awesome.
his team and we swapped to Badwater, and it was more of the same. Except this time I was pocketing him, meaning he was actually racking up kills, and he also started taunting directly in front of the enemy team's spawn door, which is just
Very
alpha
cool.
fuck. You have to respect that. This rampage on Pyro was followed by some scout
Very cool,
gameplay,
very cool.
except not the normal kind where you're shooting, more the kind where you drink bonk to go invincible and then proceed to taunt directly in front of you. Next up, we landed on Snowy Coast.
That's actually pretty funny.
Pretty normal until, Bing Soy is trying to shoot through walls as heavy, which if you didn't know is impossible. Ultimately though, I think
That's something
Bing
that
Soy
I would try,
finished
by
off
the way.
day with
I would try
perhaps
that.
his most daring strategy of jumping off the edge of the map, using the base jumper to float, and then trying to kill gamers as he slowly creeped towards his inevitable death. That one didn't go too well. So look, that was just
Cool.
one day of observation, and we saw Bing Soy cycle through at least like 10 wacky strategies. There was also some
Okay.
more footage sent to Bing Soy sightings in my Discord by Corey again.
Bing Soy
and yeah,
sightings.
That's him doing his strange little thing. So look, after a full
What
day on
are
the
these
field,
graphics, by the way? Excuse
and
me.
Yep, that's him.
What is this? What is these what are these graphics?
Doing his strange little thing. So look, after a full day on the field, we did observe a lot of strange behavior. That much was for sure, but unfortunately I wasn't really any closer to understanding why Bing Soy played like this. But
Dude, some people are just weird. Just let them be.
that was about to change, because my Discord made
Don't
a
ask
very
me.
interesting discovery. Bing Soy
Did they?
had a YouTube channel. Now it hadn't been active in
Of course he does. Why wouldn't he?
2 years, but he had quite the backlog of TF2 content here. The channel started off with some Minecraft videos in early 2018, but that soon turned into some pretty damn good TF2 frag movies. I mean, take a look at the most recent upload, Cliff Enforcer, which features a lot of insane huntsman kills, similar to the one I put in my video. There was also a bunch of pyro-related stuff here, a class which Bing Soy appeared to be actually very good at, judging by the quality of the frags he was getting. The channel basically proved to me that Bing Soy is far from being a noob, and in fact, I actually think he's really good at the game.
Pyro?
It's just that he voluntarily handicaps himself with these wacky ass strategies, and I kind of have a respect
Dude,
for
I really want to learn how to play Pyro. Pyro seems like really fun to play.
that. I guess the only sad part about this discovery was that the channel seemed to be inactive for now, which was unfortunate, but it actually wouldn't remain like that for very long. You see, a week or so had already gone by since the formation of Bing Soy sightings at this point, and a cult of personality was starting to emerge around Bing Soy, and he was growing quite the reputation amongst not only my Discord, but the wider Australian TF2 community. People were taking note of him when he was in games, sending messages
Bing
in text
Soy.
chat, and now they were finding his YouTube channel and leaving comments there too. So, on February 6th, with a growing buzz around Bing Soy, I decided to once again suit up and track down Mr. Soy. This day's
Mr. Soy.
investigation first led me to Landfall, where Bing Soy was experimenting with a new strategy on Heavy. Rather than using his favorite
They're OP?
tap-firing Tommy Slav tactic, he was instead making use of the Buffalo Steak Sandwich and Holiday Punch. He was
Sandwich.
hunting down enemy gamers to secure some taunt kills. Unfortunately,
Dude.
things weren't going all that well for Bing Soy with this strat, and to
Oh,
top things
no.
off, I actually managed to get an accidental telefrag on him whilst I was observing. I telefragged him.
Telefrag? What is that?
As we moved over to Viaduct, but again, it didn't seem to land him any success. Things did begin spicing up when we swapped to Process, as he switched to Demo with the sticky jumper and lock and load. On the first rollout to mid, I ended up dying pretty quickly, but that did not matter.
Very
because
cool,
it
very
allowed me to
cool.
spectate Bing Soy, only to discover, this. He just doesn't look at the map the same way I do. I thought I usually look pretty vertically, but he looks more vertically. After this,
He really looks like up a lot.
demo night and began taunting after the kills I was getting, which was some nice moral support, but other than that, not too much else occurred. We did have some more footage sent to the Discord,
Very cool.
however, where another one of my admins, Chop, found him spawn camping on Sweden in yet another peculiar manner.
Oh. What is
So,
this?
It wasn't the most fruitful session of stalking Bing Soy, but that's
Guy just interesting. It is.
My
It's pretty.
Discord had made another very important revelation. Not only was a Bing Soy website discovered, but I happened to feature in it. The homepage of the website had a nice
What?
FM banner where we could make out a few things. Firstly was the background, where we can see Bing Soy included some of his favorite loadouts like Huntsman Sniper, Lock and Load Demo, as well as his fabled spawn camping Pyro Shark. Now the next thing to note was the foreground, where there are 4 figures. The engineer on the left represented Braddles, an Australian TF2ber who also runs a really popular high tower server called Have Fun, which is one of Bing Soy's favorite. Now the next figure here is a soldier with a black painted Miami Knights Tyrant's helm, which of course represents myself, and this did come as a bit of a shock to me. To my right was my admin Corey's Pyro, who had not only submitted some of those clips I showed before, but it also started to form a bit of a relationship with Soy. And finally, the one who probably doesn't need an introduction is Uncle Dane on the right, and he is featured on the banner because Bing Soy really likes the Uncletopia servers, as he thinks it's a better way of
Uncle Dane, I do not know who this is, and I'm afraid to ask.
Either with the website, because in the About section, there was a subheading named Special Thanks, where he stated, "Special thanks elmaxo has shown the TF2 gaming world that Bing Soy is something more than a myth."
What?
This was absolutely wild, and one of my friends actually said something I was thinking.
We need to seriously consider, is Bing Soy an ARG?
It might be.
Is he an ARG? That would be pretty sick.
So far in the investigation, it really seemed like Bing Soy was some manufactured alternate reality rather than a real human being. It was discovered that Bing Soy had a bunch of other channels on YouTube too, one of which featured an animation he created that has over 1 million views. I was honestly in disbelief of what had transpired thus far, and it turns out that was only going to continue, as 4 days later, on the 10th of February, Bing Soy Team Fortress returned from a 2-year hiatus with a fresh upload.
What do you
mean? It was
mean?
titled Requiem, but there was something a bit strange about this upload.
Requiem?
Because the first 42 seconds showed this cryptic message of a happy stick figure progressively growing sadder and sadder. What? Why?
What?
What is happening? I still have no idea what to make of this introduction, by the way, but at the time when I saw it, I was definitely starting to believe that the ARG theory may hold more weight than I initially thought. The description also read, "Something good can..."
Bing Soy is just an IRL Easter egg. That's what I'm starting to believe that now. He's just an IRL Easter egg.
Come from something bad, which was again really cryptic, and I'm not fully sure what to make of it. The rest of the video featured some very cool pyro frags on High Tower, but that mysterious ass intro kind of overshadowed that for me. I will say though that Bing Soy did end up pinning my comment, so
it's the Uncle Dane intro? Is it really?
Another 4 days later, on February 14th, it had seemed we really pulled Bing Soy out of YouTube retirement because we were blessed with yet another upload. The video is called Uncletopia One Life Huntsman. The reason I love this video so much is the timestamps, where Bing Soy detailed literally everything that happened in the video. This ranges all the way from retreating at 1 minute to breathing at 34 seconds, and all the way to reflexive shot shoot or die at 2 minutes and 4 seconds. In a video spanning just over 2 minutes, Bing Soy
35 seconds in, I licked my lips. Another second later, I died.
We managed to include over 40 timestamps, which I honestly think is a cool idea that feels pretty avant-garde when it comes to TF2 content on YouTube. Now, I will admit that from this point onwards, the flow of the Bing Soy investigation came to a grinding halt on my end as I moved on to some different video projects. So it was really my Discord that carried the movement over the next 2.5 months. No Zero, a fellow
2.5 months?
YouTuber, found him on March 12th taunting and zapping his way to the front line with the short circuit. The following day on March 13th, we caught a fake Bing Soy who tried to join the Discord, or at least we think they were fake, because Mr. Soy seems to be a pretty elusive dude who rarely communicates in game, so
no trespassing.
Discord felt a bit unlikely. In late March and early April, there were a bunch of screenshots of him in game, and then on the 3rd of April, No Zero made his own
Bing
video
Soy
interactions with Bing Soy, and to be honest with you, it's bloody beautiful. We got to see more of his Pyro Shark, more of his taunting, and more of his affinity towards jumping off the map. So look, at this point, it had been a while, but on the 22nd of April, I decided it was time for me to return, so I once again put on my boots and picked up my camcorder because we were going hunting. It's almost been 2 months since I last watched Bing Soy. Here it is. See?
Bing Soy.
Hell yeah. I don't think he recognizes me, knows who I am. I've seen his website.
Bing Soy. That pyro is a spy. What? Why is he just watching? He's observing.
He's so odd.
What? Bing Soy. He's just in the corner.
Taking a breather. He's in. He's in. He's in.
Feeling a fart.
I think he did something. see what
What?
Bing's up to. Wait, what? Oh, he's got the blind setup. He wants the good spawn. The Bing Soy. What? What is he doing?
What?
He's getting himself low.
Yeah,
so he can
healing
escape
farts.
that in. God bless. Again, more of the same wacky strategies we were all accustomed to, but at this point, I really wanted to get deeper with Bing Soy and understand the mentality behind everything he was doing. Later that day, they covered a fresh upload on the Bing Soy channel called Uncletopia Caber Bomber, and as the name suggested, it was a cool montage of him going around harassing inferior enemy gamers with the sticky jumper and caber combo. The interesting thing about this video is that it actually went on to get some attention in the algorithm. At the time of writing, this video has almost 10,000 views, which is the most successful video on Bing Soy's channel to date.
my thing.
He actually does some really cool work with the demo system in this video and playing around with all the camera angles.
Oh, that's cool.
This channel was starting to get some more attention. We also continued to get some more sightings, as on the far from my Discord noticed he had a Game Banana account and had created a new hit sound and a custom model for the sticky jumper. On the 29th of May, Digger Derby found him taunting his way around the best map in the game, CP Steel, and on the 3rd
I agree.
June, No Zero managed to pocket him with the quick fix all the way behind the enemy team on Upward, where he did the classic demo-based jumper sticky strategy over the wall. I ended up running into him on
Wait, that's a classic? Oh, look
June
good.
Steel, where he was doing some strange exploration of the cliff face around me.
Oh, that is so loud.
On the next map Upward, where he went and redid that strategy of shooting stickies over the wall to the first spawn area. My absolute favorite Bing Soy sighting happened later that month on the 28th of June, where we got a dual
his
perspective
favorite
of a
Bing Soy
beautiful
sighting.
moment that unraveled.
What?
I don't think I've ever seen someone flick faster in my life
What?
after a taunt to get a kill, and boy was it something. As the investigation entered July, it actually
Jeez.
started to pick up some momentum yet
That
again,
was so
as I found myself
fast.
running into him on Uncletopia quite frequently. Things kicked off on the 1st of July, where I found him taunting on cooldown with a scorch shot, absolutely determined to get a kill with it. Oh, he's doing what I do, where you shoot the other way with it.
What? What is that?
Like, what? 10 days later, on the 11th of July, I was playing with people from my Discord, and yep, you guessed it, Bing Soy was playing on Uncletopia. He continued to sticky trap our spawn and spam pipes out at seemingly nothing. Eventually, he did come out of his shell somewhat and started playing around as Pyro and Huntsman Sniper. It was during he finally mustered up the courage to send Bing Soy a friend request on Steam, as given how the vibe was pretty chill on the server, I thought it was more likely he would accept. However,
No, he's not gonna.
Invite for the moment, and instead
I'm gonna
Change
die.
his profile picture.
What?
Why?
He changed
Bing
it?
Soy. He always does this.
which is something he
What?
actually did way back on the 31st of January whilst we were playing on Badlands.
Oh, he
Huh?
changed it back.
He changed his profile picture.
What? Why?
What? He changed it live.
I don't know what prompts him to do this, but hey, he's a free man changing his profile picture and doing whatever he wants. It was pretty late at night at this point, so I decided to get some sleep, but one of our Discord investigators named Sleepy actually
Sleepy.
decided to stick
Sleepy.
around with Bing Soy, which led to some very important developments when I woke up. Now, the first
Yeah.
important development was that Bing Soy
Character
accepted my
development.
friend request on Steam, which marked a nice progression in our relationship. The second part, which
That would not make it a fun game.
was Bing Soy's profile picture. Now, you remember that he changed it mid-game to this weird distorted close-up of his sniper, but the original one he had selected contained some secret messages within it. You can see that in the foreground is Bing Soy's character sitting on a bench in this
Is that
kinda
Bing Soy?
cosmic spacey
The
setting.
Soy?
What Sleepy discovered, however, is that in the background were 3 different drawings. We can see that the drawing
He discovered that.
on
Okay.
the right
Yeah.
is a light
As
bulb,
if you
which
couldn't just
represents
see
my
it.
Armored Core's pyro loadout. In the middle is a little cube, which represents No Zero's profile picture. And most interestingly, on the left is Bing Soy's drawing of an actual photo of me. Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
It's a photo I used
what?
on Discord for a month or two. It's a photo I use on my second channel. And it's also still my current Twitter profile picture. You can see the necklace, you can see the beanie, and you can see the thumbs up. So this absolutely blew me
Cool.
away. Now, the reason we became aware of this information is because investigators
It's because I opened my eyes and saw that he had drawn this.
on Uncletopia late at night, and you can see in this transcript that Sleepy asked, "Are
Is
there
coffee
any
brain
TV
rot? Yes, I
shows
am.
you enjoy watching?" And Bing Soy responded, "Look at my profile pic." Sleepy then followed up with, "Are those 3
Strongest
of your
Rimuru?
profile
Yes, I will
pictures
be,
the
of course.
YouTubers you watch?" Which Bing Soy responded to with a no.
Strongest
Sleepy asked,
Rimuru.
"But are they your favorites?" Which Bing Soy responded,
Exactly, I know.
"Yes." Hello, hi there, this is Editing Elmaxo here, and I actually have to let you know something that I've learned since I wrote the script for this video. You see all the lovely questions Sleepy prepared and Bing Soy responded to in this text document? Well, they were actually sourced in quite an unbelievable manner. We know Bing Soy isn't big on communicating through text or voice chat, so to get the answers to these questions, and I kid you not, Sleepy spent almost 2 hours in the middle of the night going around Koth Lakeside having Bing Soy either shoot at letters on signs or draw them with bullets or use the Scottish resistance to spell them out, which Sleepy would proceed to transcribe in text chat, and Bing Soy would shake his head if they were right. It wasn't just like typing out messages.
That's crazy. Wait, that's actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
This whole process, and I had no idea about it when I wrote the script for this video. Sleepy has the full 1 hour and 47-minute recording on his computer, but he sent me through this
45. Jeez.
Oh my god, what the fuck? I had no idea Sleepy went to such lengths to seclude the full transcript in the description, and a big thanks to Sleepy again, because that is dedication to the cause. But god, finding this out the next day sent me spinning. We were now even
That's so cool.
into the Bing Soy rabbit hole, and I was all for it. It was at this point that I knew I had to make a documentary on this because the story so far was too goddamn interesting to pass up on. Sleepy also collected some more footage of Bing Soy whilst I was asleep, and it was some of the strangest stuff I've seen so far. The next day, whilst I was playing on Bomb, I came across Bing Soy yet again
he's hiding
in a bush as Huntsman Sniper. You may again recognize this clip because it featured in my last clip dump and marks Bing Soy's third official appearance in an elmaxo video. So look, it was clear at this point that the way Bing Soy played TF2 was strange.
It is pretty strange.
Deny that, but we still didn't know why. What fueled the man behind the mask? Well, we could theorize, we could come up with some wild speculation, we could continue to observe him, and maybe edge just that I had to ask Bing Soy directly. So I conjured up this grand message with 5 questions in it. Number 1 was what compels you to play the game like you do. Number 2 was what is your favorite unconventional strategy to use. Number 3 was do you have any long-term goals with TF2 or your YouTube channel. 4 was have you enjoyed the increased level of attention you've gotten in the past 6 months. And 5 was what piece of advice would you give to the TF2 community. I didn't really want to poke and prod into his personal life, but I did want to get a better idea of what made him tick in TF2. I wasn't really sure if we'd get a response given how private Bing Soy seems to be, but given Sleepy managed to ask him some questions, I was praying we would get some form of response. And
most likely? What do you mean most likely?
And I waited. But I never got that response from Bing Soy. I tried this last-ditch effort of investigating him whilst he was on Upward, and just as you'd expect, he was on his favorite pick, Huntsman Sniper. He was getting kills, he was taunting a lot, and hey, he even went for a game-winning shot whilst he fell off the map to stop the enemy from capping. But that was it. So I sat there, I reflected, and I had a sort of epiphany. Because I think Bing Soy can teach us a lot about TF2. You know, we don't always have to lean on what's meta. We don't have to keep going back to the loadouts which we are most comfortable with. We don't always have to obsess over the objective and sweat our asses off. Sometimes it's good to get out of our comfort zone and try and unlock that we've never used before. After playing TF2 for so long, I think we subconsciously lock ourselves into these rigid playstyles and fail to
what's that?
And push the game to its limit. You know, I get that you have 20,000 kills on your
would not know. It is doubtful.
Maybe on that next life you could take a note out of Bing Soy's book and give the Huntsman a go. Or maybe the next time you're on demo, you could swap out that Iron Bomber you love so dearly and try out the lock and load. And hey, it has been a while since you used the holiday.
Love how random things are here.
So you know what? Maybe Bing Soy isn't so strange.
What you mean for Bing Soy?
I think he encapsulates the beauty.
He is really random.
So look, maybe Bing
that's pretty cool.
Will respond to my message one day.
Oh,
maybe he'll provide me with all the answers I wanted, and we'll reach a nice and clean resolution. To
what is going on with the video?
Bing Soy. But honestly, I don't really want him to. That's where things were supposed to finish. I had a poetic ending all thought out, but one day I noticed a Steam notification when I got back to my PC from Bing Soy, and he'd record a live analysis of discovering this folder with fellow investigators Corey and Sleepy, which I will weave in at times, but it was honestly a mess, so I'm just going to do some post-commentary to explain everything that happened after this point. The Google Drive Bing Soy gave us contained 4 files. The first was a file named elmaxo's questions, which, as the name suggests, contains those questions I mentioned earlier in the video. The next file, called Read, is unfortunately only for my eyes.
Ask again later, yeah. Ask later.
But I will say that he gave me express permission to use everything else he sent in this folder in the video. video, so don't worry about that. Next up was a folder
okay.
named Main Images, which contains the bulk of what we're going to be analyzing, but before I get to that, I want to discuss the contents of Other, which contained 3 images. The first was a drawing titled Stick, which contained a stick figure drawing of my soldier with his tyrant's helm, along with my little dog Mackie on the shoulder. I also presume that it's Bing Soy on the right, but what I found a little distressing is the straight expressions on their face, which don't suggest much happiness, which is a little sad. The next image was called Sticker, and this contains something similar to those visuals we saw in the intro to his video Requiem, which was a little distressing. We can see someone who seems to be isolated from a group of people, but we'll talk a bit more about this later. The final image in the folder
Better not tell you.
Strangest, which seems to be an MS Paint drawing
You guys will never know.
approaching a house in the woods. I'm not sure how to interpret this, and the only thing I could really recognize was a TF logo in the window, so if you have any ideas as to what this may mean,
I'm not telling you if I do.
admit that folder was quite cryptic, and I'm still not fully sure how to interpret it, but the most important stuff for us is in the folder named Main Images, in which Bing Soy has not written his answers out to my questions, but instead drawn them. We can start with question 1, which is what compels you to play the game like you do, and here was his response. The first image, which depicts someone pouring a liquid into a glass, we deciphered to mean experimentation, which confirms our belief that Bing Soy likes to push boundaries with the strategies he uses. The second
that
image
makes sense.
depicts a little astronaut on the moon with a flag.
Discovery.
To mean a sense of accomplishment. Maybe Bing Soy wants to be the first person to popularize these strategies and make them more well known. The one thing we weren't
Luigi
sure about
board?
was what looked to be a little play button on the moon. So perhaps he wants to grow his YouTube channels with these different types of strategies. We weren't 100% sure. The third image we jokingly deciphered as insanity with the eyes. We didn't realize
Genuine insanity.
YouTuber It's Feckin' Raw from YouTube channel It's Feckin' Raw told us is that this was a drawing of a character from the game Encryption. Now I'm not going to act like I've ever played it.
Encryption? It's inscription. And I don't know who this is.
Actually sure what that symbolizes. The fourth image seemed pretty obvious, and we think this means Bing Soy wants to level up his intelligence in game with what he can do. I mean,
Vol up?
By doing all these wild
Vol
strategies,
up.
Bing Soy is definitely going to have a more broad knowledge of TF2 and
Luigi
how it works. Finally,
Borg.
the image I found most interesting was a little Bing Soy on scales. It seems that he thinks that there is more negativity in the TF2 community, as symbolized by the broken heart weighing more, and Bing Soy wants to use his wacky playstyle to bring more love and positivity to the community, which I think is really admirable. So, to answer why Bing Soy plays the game so differently, it's because he likes to experiment. He wants to be the first to succeed with these strategies. He's insane. Kidding, I don't fully know about this one. He wants to level up his intelligence. He wants to bring more positivity to the community. The second question I asked him was what was his favorite unconventional strategy to use in TF2, and the answers are a lot more direct here. At the top left, we can see the classic Girardi and Bushwhacker combo, which I will admit I personally don't think is all that unconventional. The bottom left is a strategy we have seen a lot of in the Bing Soy trademarked suicide huntsman plays he loves to do. Finally, and what was one of my favorite pieces of art he made for this, is the Pyro Shark, which of course means that one of his favorite unconventional strategies also happens to be Pyro Shark. The third question I asked him was if he had any long-term goals with TF2 or YouTube.
Oh
and
no.
This one was interesting. The first image here is easy to decipher, and it's clear Bing Soy really likes YouTube and wants to see his channel grow, which I can
that sounds awful.
definitely relate to. The second image was a little complex, so we'll take it bit by bit. The middle of it is an information sign, which we assume means that Bing Soy wants to put out some educational content about, firstly, demos, because as we've seen, he's actually really good with using the demo system. Secondly, video making in general. Thirdly, we weren't too sure about. And the fourth one,
very doubtful. I do not.
Strategy or maybe movement. We weren't entirely sure about that. The third image was a wholesome one. As we can see, is a love heart in a little film reel with my tyrant's helm, No Zero's icon, Corey's light bulb, and Uncle Dane's Engie, which may mean there's a video coming out or maybe even some potential collabs.
I don't.
It seems pretty exciting. The final image, or rather group of images, was all of Bing Soy's different YouTube channels linking into one main area off screen. So maybe this means a central channel is coming, or a crossover, or maybe even a Bing Soy cinematic universe, which would be very awesome. So to summarize this third one, we can see he has goals about growing his channel, making some educational content, a potential collab or video with some other creators, and perhaps some more crossover with his animation and music channels. The fourth question I asked him was what were his thoughts on the increased level of attention he has gotten from the community in the past 6 months. And this answer was both intriguing but also saddening. The first image relates back to one of his drawings in the first response, where he feels that the TF2 community has more negativity than positivity, and he wants to balance it out. Now after this, it actually tells a bit of a story with the timeline of images, starting with Bing Soy on the left being found by myself, No Zero, and Corey. The attention from us, and I assume the wider community, prompted Bing Soy to blow the metaphorical dust and webs off his camera, or in this case, his YouTube channel, and started making videos.
Thumbs up.
We can see he did this cool little drawing representing his Caber video, and was surprised by the amount of positive attention it received. This has led him to being surprised by all the people who recognize him in game, and has also made him a lot more stressed about making videos, as it's a time-consuming process, and don't worry Bing Soy, I definitely
Lil
hear
Bro
you
should
on that
change
one.
the
Now,
name to Overcaf and Mid Reacts Cry Emoji X3.
One of my mods, by the way, one of my mods.
next image, we can see that Bing Soy sees all this new attention as a double-edged sword, because he is grateful for it and having his work seen, but is also stressed out, which makes sense after gaining a lot of eyes on you so quickly. The next image I wasn't all too sure on, so I shall let investigator Sleepy and Corey give their live analysis.
I think it's like he's showing that he's going towards the future, and while the future is uncertain, he feels as
feels like
though
he's-
he's avoided sadness or something similar.
Yeah, because I know
What?
previously with TF2 he did quit for a bit.
Yeah.
Because of the community. So this new approach might be, whilst it's not, he doesn't know what it.
Why is he trying to be cryptic? Oh, I guess it I don't know. I don't know. Just use words. Use words, brother.
It's not the negative community
Right.
he's used to.
The next image shows Bing Soy by himself around a group of people, showing that he feels isolated and
responder,
disconnected
cala-te,
from those
mas é.
around him who he plays TF2 with, which is something that makes me sad. One thing I've wanted to avoid in this video is otherizing Bing Soy, which I get I can't completely avoid given the bizarre nature of how he plays the game, but it does break me a little that he feels this way about the community around him, and that's something I definitely want to fix. The final image shows this giant magnifying glass with an eye staring down on Bing Soy, which links back to the idea of the stress of all the attention on him and having everything he does watched. The final question I asked Bing Soy was if he had any advice to give the TF2 community, and it actually appears he does. I found this interesting because he perceives there to be a lot of negativity in the community.
No, I'm
Maybe
not
he
gonna
doesn't
say
see it
that.
as his
I'm not
role
gonna
to
say
comment
that.
on and give advice to everyone about, as he may just see it as his own personal goal for him to do his best on to improve the state of things. The final two images in this folder was this cool bit of art from Bing Soy, where he features his new little logo for his Team Fortress stuff, and a little thank you, which
Oh, that's
I'm
pretty
honestly
cool.
honored to receive. I decided to make this my desktop background because it looks really sick, and I am really
It does
thankful
look pretty
to have
cool.
discovered Bing Soy, who's taken me on such a wild ride for the past half year. So that's everything. I didn't expect any of this, and I wrote a script as if he wouldn't respond, but to my surprise, we actually got some answers. I think the way Bing Soy plays TF2 is great, because it's easy to fall into these rigid playstyles we become accustomed to after many years of playing, and he breaks that entirely. Whilst I will admit that even sometimes I can't
spinner!
comprehend what he's trying to go for with
Bulbasaur
his
spin.
strategies, that doesn't really matter, because he's just a dude playing the game how he wants to, and picking up some
Bulb.
video-worthy clips in the process. So look, to tie this all together,
Bulb.
I want to give you the ending I wrote to this documentary, assuming Bing Soy wasn't going to respond, because I think it actually ties everything together really nicely. There was actually one question
okay.
Sleepy asked Bing Soy during that late night session, which I purposefully left out earlier, but I do want you to hear it now. He asked Bing Soy this for other people. What's something
I can
like
tell that you're
which Bing Soy
Portuguese.
responded, keep an open mind. So maybe, just maybe, the next time you see a cliff and there's an enemy just across from you and you happen to have the huntsman equipped, why not go for that shot? I think it's what Bing Soy would want us to do. Thanks for watching.
Cool. That's actually pretty interesting. Special thanks to the Bing Soy sightings channel. That's pretty cool. I mean, some people just are built different, just like to play the game and have fun. Some people just like having fun, you know?